This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Scammers are trying to swindle you by posing as cable companies. I'm Stephanie Wade with the latest trend you need to be aware about.
Cathedral High School says they had to fire a teacher in a same-sex marriage, otherwise they would lose their tax-exempt status. I'm Cameron Riddle. Tonight, we ask a tax expert.
And then it's a career success story sparked by a Hiring Hoosiers feature. The job one man landed as a result of RTV6's Jobs Initiative. Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins. Tonight, criminals are posing as cable companies to try to steal your money. RTV6's Stephanie Wade spoke with a woman who almost fell for this scam. She's in Beech Grove with the warning you need to hear.
Last week,
it rang and I just picked it up.
Beverly Rogers got a call from someone claiming to be AT&T, explaining a new deal they were offering that would lower her cable bill.
He said it would be $60 a month for 2 years.
A good deal, she thought.
Our AT&T and DirecTV bill is higher than that. So I thought, boy, that'd be a savings for us.
But then things got suspicious. The caller said they were partnering with eBay for this new offer, and Rogers would have to pay her bill using eBay gift cards.
And that's when I said, no, thank you, and hung up.
With wire transfer and with gift cards, they can take that money and get it out of the country very, very quickly, and it's almost untraceable.
Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau says requesting any form of unusual payment is the #1 red flag. It's a scam. No legitimate company will do that. But Rogers isn't the only target for this kind of scheme. Anyone can get scammed. If you're connected to the internet, you're vulnerable. More scams are being made through the internet these days. That's why millennials, that's right, millennials, are more likely to get scammed than senior citizens.
Millennials use the internet. They trust the internet, and they put out a lot of information on the internet. All of that is used against them.
More than 50,000 scams were reported in Indiana last year. The top 5:
employment scams, online purchase scams, fake checks, fake money orders, home improvement, and advanced loan fee.
And as these overseas operations continue to grow and target people here in the U.S., the BBB recommends hanging up and calling your utility company to verify before handing anyone over your money. Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
The Attorney General's office also gave us the top 10 consumer complaints they received so far this year. And here they are: unwanted calls and phone scams, followed by new and used auto sales and service, home maintenance and construction, online scams and sales. Number 5 comes in retail, 6, identity theft, financial credit services, wireless phone and cable providers, landlord and tenant, and lending and mortgage. We continue to follow the high-impact conflict in the community over Catholic schools and teachers in gay marriages. RTV6's Cameron Riddle joins us with the latest that he's learned in this complicated case.
Students and parents tell RTV6 Cathedral High School's decision and explanation behind the firing of a teacher in a same-sex marriage has been confusing. Working for you, we're taking a much closer look at what the school has been telling the public. In a public letter addressed to the Cathedral family and then posted on the school's website, Cathedral's board of directors explained a decision they call, quote, agonizing after firing a teacher in a same-sex marriage. The school says at stake is Cathedral's connection to the Archdiocese of Indianapolis. The school goes on to say it had to fire the unidentified teacher or it could no longer refer to Cathedral as a Catholic school and would also lose its highly valuable 501c3 status and would no longer be able to operate as a nonprofit organization. The 501c3 is an exemption which keeps the school from being required to pay federal taxes. RTV6 pulled state records from the Secretary of State's office and found that Cathedral High School has been incorporated as a nonprofit since 1972, a distinction held by the school itself, not the Archdiocese. Robert Katz, a professor at Indiana University's Robert McKinney School of Law, says if Cathedral already has its own nonprofit status, then the dilemma, as described in the public letter, is short of being accurate.
That's just not correct. They are a nonprofit organization. They get their nonprofit status from the state of Indiana, which issues them articles of incorporation. And that's separate and apart from their tax-exempt status, which comes from the IRS.
Katz says because Cathedral is already a certified nonprofit, the school doesn't necessarily need the Archdiocese to get that tax exemption known as the 501c3.
Getting their independent tax exemption as opposed to under the Archdiocese, very simple.
What's that process?
They fill out a form.
Father James Martin is a New York priest and vocal on LGBT issues. While most of the attention has been focused on school funding and same-sex marriage, Martin says the church is picking and choosing the issues it wants to enforce.
No one's perfect, and everybody sins. The problem is not the interpretation. The problem is the selectivity of the interpretation. He's only looking at the sexual morality of LGBT people to the exclusion of the straight employees, and I think that's clearly discriminatory.
We tried to dig deeper into Cathedral's tax records, but when we went to the IRS website to see how much, if any, money the school receives from the Archdiocese, we learned that they do not have to file that information because they are considered to be a church. We also reached out to Cathedral for further comment on this story, and they said all questions are being directed to the Archdiocese. In Indianapolis, I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Well, Cathedral got over $1 million in taxpayer money last year. One state lawmaker is trying to stop that from happening again. We'll have the full story right now for you on the IndyChannel.com and on the RTV6 app. Going outside now on this summer day, we're taking you up northeast to Geist Reservoir with our RTV6 drone. Look at that, and it's a beautiful day if you want to get out on the water. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is here with a look at your forecast for the evening.
What a day. Temperatures hit 90 in many spots. Not a lot of wind, and the humidity slowly climbing. It hasn't reached its peak yet. Let's show you a few cumulus clouds that have popped up across central Indiana, leading to a couple thunderstorms. We'll go up north in a second. There's the warmest temperature I could find today. Bedford hit 92 degrees. It will feel like the mid-90s for all of us the next several days as the humidity climbs. Let's jump north of Lafayette, north of Battleground, headed right toward Lake Schaefer and Lake Freeman near Monticello. This is another downpour. Also north of Fowler. Notice how they just pop up. This is all within the last hour. Nothing and then all-out downpour. There are more organized thunderstorms, a lot more thunderstorm activity in Illinois as this drifts to the north and east, may cross the Wabash River. There's a marginal or low risk. A few of these may have damaging wind associated with them. They just won't be widespread, but the best chance will be in the western half of the state. Here are the temperatures. They'll stay warm not just this evening, but all night. 76 will be the temperature at 11 o'clock tonight.
IPS high school students will have the option of riding an Indigo bus to school. The program is designed to save the district thousands of dollars. Students who participate in the program will be given free fare cards. Parents we spoke with marveled about the flexibility it gives students and how it instills independence in that student. Rebecca Zernheld's 16-year-old daughter will ride the city buses this school year. She has full confidence that it is a secure mode of transportation.
There are great city bus drivers there, and I know a lot of professionals who take the bus downtown to work and feel great about it, so I think it's more than safe.
Traditional school buses will still be available for students who do not want to ride Indigo. One of the city's more popular spots is getting some big projects done this summer. Newfields is kicking off 3 construction projects. It's going to add a parking green, which will add 200 new parking spots and also be available for large-scale festivals and exhibitions. A multi-use path will also connect the Newfields campus to the community. And Newfields is partnering with the Indianapolis Cultural Trail to add a Pacers bike share station. It'll increase transportation to and from the Fairbanks Park. Coming up here on RTV6 News, we are talking success stories. The man applying for a job at one company lands a dream job elsewhere. The connection between him and RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative ahead. Plus, how a new major media partnership for RTV6 is going to help us serve you better.
Major championship golf returns to the Hoosier State. I'm Brad Brown on the University of Notre Dame's campus. It's the U.S. Men's Senior Open in South Bend. We'll have a closer look coming up on the news at 6.
And I saw those trees throwing off some shade. You'll be looking for that over the next few days as our temperatures continue to climb. Humidity will jump as well. How many days will we hit 90? We'll talk about that coming up.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
A new major media partnership gets underway in the morning. RTV6 and Radio 1 are joining forces to inform and empower the communities that we serve. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez joining us here tonight with the details. A big enterprise that we're about to set on here.
A big change coming up. It all starts tomorrow morning,
yes.
So stay tuned. Mark, in a busy world, it's another way really to catch up on news and weather. It's also a great way to share more information about our campaign, Hiring Hoosiers, helping people connect to jobs and training programs. There's so many programs out there right now available that people are not using, Tina Cosby.
Yeah, are you familiar? I went through one P2E, and it was really, really good. And it was a ministry of sorts, but then
Okay, that was veteran broadcaster Tina Cosby talking about RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative today. Tina is the host of Community Connections on 1310 AM The Light. She will also be among the many personalities we will work with during the partnership with Radio 1 and its numerous radio stations. And beginning tomorrow, here's the exciting part. RTV6 will kick off news and weather reports on the Tom Joyner Show, which airs on WTLC 106.7. Those news updates will run from 6:25 in the morning all the way to 8:25 Monday through Friday.
Both of us are rooted in making sure that we get out and touch the people and that we're media partners in our community. So by us partnering with RTV6 lends us both the opportunity to go out and be deeper in the community and do more things to impact our community.
WTLC in particular is celebrating more than 50 years of serving the Indianapolis community. And Radio 1 and its stations will also be joining us, of course, for that Shark Tank casting call on July the 16th at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Another great venture. We look forward to joining up with Radio 1. It all begins tomorrow morning. Mark, back to you.
We are all excited about it. Thank you, Rafael, for that. Hiring Hoosiers is our initiative from RTV6 focused on jobs. Over the past 6 months, we have seen success as we've connected people to training programs, to employers ranging from HVAC to logistics to engineering. At the Battery Innovation Center in Southern Indiana, they're working on developing and testing the battery power of the future. Rodney Taylor is a volunteer firefighter who found his expertise in fighting fires and his interest in electronics were the perfect fit among engineers. Taylor was able to show his passion for learning more about his interests. It allowed him to land a job in a field seeking more people willing to be trained.
They was able to open me up. I had a lot of knowledge, but never actually got to use it. So they was able to actually show me what I was capable of doing.
We were able to give him the battery training. Again, that's a technical hands-on experience. He had already some technical hands-on experience. He's done some work on the side, both hobby and also commercially as well. Again, not an engineer, but that's perfectly okay. Just like I can take an engineer and get him firefighter training, we can take a firefighter with the drive for doing what we're doing and get him the experience he needs.
And Thursday in RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers, the benefits of networking everywhere you go with everybody you meet. Our career coach dishes out the advice tomorrow on Good Morning Indiana at 6 a.m. This week, we are celebrating excellence in journalism. Our colleague, Derek Thomas, is signing off from RTV6 this Friday after over 40 years of sharing his gift of storytelling with Central Indiana. So we're sharing a few of his most memorable stories. Today, we step back several decades as Derek showcases the 1983 Indiana State Fair.
Come get your slot! The hog has never been confused with man's best friend, but it was man's best friend that aided Bob Ertel in his blue ribbon winning hog calling presentation. The husband calling competition was open to any woman in the world 18 or over who now has or ever had or ever hopes to have a husband. The contest is judged on originality, volume, and appeal. Jackie Schmidt went for a dialogue-intensive program.
Hey! 18-year-old Sonia Crafton donned wedding garb, hoping to put potential husbands in the proper frame of mind. While
the names she called sent men a-running. It caught the judge's eye and netted her a blue ribbon, $100, and if she's lucky down the line, perhaps a husband. Derek Thomas for the news. Channel 6.
Perhaps, right? So Derek received his master's degree in journalism from the University of Iowa in 1977. His first day at Channel 6 was April 13th, 1979. Tomorrow, Derek meets the man behind the Colts fight song in 1984. Fun at the fair there with that one.
Fun in the fair. We had fun in Studio B today with Derek, a staff meeting, cake and all that. It's Friday 6, right, that he will be here in the studio saying goodbye. And you can have as much time as you want, Derek. You can take all the weather time. You can help me with the weather.
And the cake, too, yeah.
I don't know about that. We don't want to give him all the cake. He's a disciplined man. All right, let's show you this. Maybe you've seen it around town. I'm not sure why it's here, but this is at Indianapolis Regional Airport, formerly Mount Comfort out in Greenfield, a shot at the Goodyear blimp. Temperatures, they're warming up, still above 90 in Muncie. Indianapolis hit 88 today. That was our warmest temperature. It's still that warm. 88 in Lafayette and Peru. Just north of Lafayette is where we've got heavy downpour of rain. I'll show that to you. These are the heat index values. Low 90s many places will continue to elevate. As we get to the weekend, we're looking at mid 90s. That's really probably true about Thursday through Sunday. These are the actual temperatures. We'll keep making our move in Indianapolis for the first official 90-degree day in Indianapolis. Follow the lightning. That's where you'll find the torrential rainfall. These are fairly slow-moving storms. Cluster of storms that's closest to the state, just north of Interstate 64. Well to the southwest right now of Sullivan and Terre Haute. These drift to the north and east, and I think eventually kind of just rain themselves out. This is heavy rainfall, lots of lightning too for you just southwest of Monticello, drifting to the northeast. Okay, larger picture, almost all of us are dry. The chance for thunderstorms just like today over the next several days. They'll be very hit and miss during the heat of the day in that 5 to about 11 p.m. window. As you look at 7 o'clock tonight, west of the Wabash, showers and thunderstorms try to move into the western portion of the state, but in many cases will be fading away. Temperatures tomorrow about the same as today. We start the overnight temperature a little warmer. We'll be right around 70 degrees, upper 80s in the afternoon. 7 to 1 o'clock, only an isolated shower or thunderstorm. They'll become a little more numerous during the heat of the afternoon into the evening hours. Here's your 7-day planner. Plan on temperatures right at 90 degrees Saturday and Sunday. The chance for rain Thursday through Sunday is 20% or less. As you get to early next week, the chance 40% that we'll see a shower or thunderstorm. That on the Tuesday and Wednesday. Pretty consistent forecast.
Kevin!
Yeah. All right,
not that.
I'm here.
Yeah, I know. Some of the golf's biggest names are playing in the shadow of the Golden Dome this week. Sports anchor Brad Brown joining us now to explain that. Brad.
Hey guys, we're doing well here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. RTV6 Sports on the road in South Bend. We have kind of the golf voices on today as we are up on the campus of the University of Notre Dame. The Warren course is hosting the 40th U.S. Senior Open. A beautiful setup here on the north side of the Notre Dame campus as we are here on the 18th green right now, wrapping up the practice round this afternoon as a field of 156 golfers gets set to tee off tomorrow morning for the 72-hole tournament, and they'll have a cut coming up to the top 60 on Saturday. We'll give you a look here at kind of the beautiful conditions. They've had some weather up here the first part of the week, but the crew up here at Notre Dame and the Warren course, which opened in May of 2000. Ben Crenshaw, one of the course designers here, just in great shape, and we had a chance to make our way around here this afternoon. Got to look at some of the big names of golf that have come up here. Really a lot of past champions of major tournaments, the likes of Tom Kite, Tom Watson, Bernard Langer, Vijay Singh, and others will be part of this tournament. They'll play a par 70 here this week, 6,940 yards, so this will favor the long ball guys a little bit more, but we've had a chance to watch some of these players practice today, and I got some tight greens, some big bunkers around this course. But again, just a beautiful setup here at the Warren course. If you've not been up here on this part of the Notre Dame campus, just a great opportunity to see it this week as they get started tomorrow. A couple of the big names that'll be in contention this week. Tom Watson, he's been a runner-up 3 times in this tournament, and Bernard Langer 10 times, a major winner on the senior tour.
What it takes was different every time, a little bit different, but in generally same thing. You got to hit it where you're looking, and you got to have a good short game and withstand the pressure, enjoy the pressure, embrace it, and not shy from it.
It's a very difficult golf course around the greens. See, if you miss the greens, you've got all these humps and bumps to deal with. If you're in the wrong position, you don't have a chance. So it's essential to be a good iron player this week. Essential.
And as we wind down the practice rounds here today, we go to Colin Montgomery, also a major champion on the Senior Tour and the Open Championship as well, getting a final walk off the 18th green as he wraps up his afternoon, and he'll have a middle day tee time coming up tomorrow. Let's get a look at some of the action here. Thursday and Friday, the tee times will start at 7:30 in the morning for the first groups. They'll open the gates here at 7 a.m. And then again, the top 60 and ties will play on to the final 36 holes on Saturday and Sunday. And tickets are available at the gate for each day, usga.org for more information. We'll have more on the Senior Open coming up for you tonight on the news at 11. We'll see how the weather holds up here as the weekend goes on. There's a chance of rain here really on all 4 days, so we'll see how that affects the tournament going forward, but should be some exciting action here as they take the course for round 1 on Thursday. Time for a final break, then we'll be back to the studio to wrap up the news at 6 next.
The only name you need to know.
Part of RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you with opportunities, so get ready to pitch your invention to Shark Tank. Producers are holding an open call on July 16th at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Doors open at 6 a.m. We'll have all the information for you on it on theindychannel.com.
You need to get ready to move indoors near Brookston, Lake Schaefer, Lake Freeman, and Monticello. That's an all-out downpour, lots of lightning drifting northeast. Most of central Indiana, nearly all, is still dry. Isolated thunderstorms, especially western half of the state, early tonight.
We're back with our next update for you on that at 7 o'clock. Up next here is World News. Have a good evening.